What is going on, guys? Christian here with Ford Momentum. I bet you were distracted by the M112 supercharger right here. I am very distracted by that too, but the fact of the matter is I have a lot of prep work before I start doing some episodes on that, so I gotta bring you some other content. Today, we're gonna tackle that pesky and sometimes ugly center console lid, the one that your forearm and elbow rests on. Those tend to get really thrashed because they're always being contacted while you're driving. I have a cut in mind. I'm going to attempt to get rid of original factory cover and replace it with a low dollar but quality version. Right now, current prices are $10 shipped on this thing. So be sure to check out the video description for more information and if you need a link to the actual product that I used today. Let's get started on this thing. Any of you guys have the original car phone? This thing still powers on. Of course, it's not connected to any networks, but isn't that cool? There should be 4 fasteners down here, 2 in the middle, and then 1, 2, 3 at the top that you need to remove. Take care of that. Don't lose these. They're tiny and they're annoying to keep track of. Okay, once you have that off, you can take it over to the bench. 2 more screws here to get this push button out. You just gotta be rough with it. It's years and years of stickiness and stuff. Now, we have full access to this that goes around it. If you get a really tiny screwdriver like this, and you get underneath it, it'll pop it up. And then you can grab it with some pliers. Take a look at the depth of these staples if you want to run staples back in. So take your small screwdriver and you're going to want to get under that staple like that and just pry it up and out. And then it looks like they did run adhesive underneath this as well because it's very sticky. Adhesive and a staple. So note how they did this from the factory. You know, there's a lot of folds in here in the corners, and that's okay. So just kind of take note of that because when you go to put this new one on, that's kind of how it's going to go. There's a bunch of different spray adhesives out there, but this is what I'm going to use. This particular offering has a hole in it, which will help you align everything. Loosely fit it on there and just kind of see what you have to work with here. And if you need to stretch it out, you can use a hairdryer. You could just very lightly warm it up. You got to be really careful with synthetic leather because it's not like real leather in that you can work with it with heat too well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to spend some time smoothing this on here and then let's see how well I can get it to fit loosely. When you loose fit these things, it's going to be all wrinkly. But when you work with synthetic leathers and stuff, hook that back part on there like that. And then basically you're going to do it in a cross fashion. So you're going to go all the way across and we're going to affix it as tight as we can this way. And then we're going to go to each side. And then we're going to work our way from the middle out, pulling it tight. What you'll notice is that they probably used 1/8 inch staples, which are actually extremely hard to find. I do have 1/4 inch staples, T50, for my staple gun here. And I did a test shot on the side of this, and it seems to actually work fairly well. So I'm going to use 1/4" staples, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to concentrate on this area first. I'm going to get that all fastened, spray adhesive in here. I'm going to put this up over that hole and stretch it, and then we'll switch to the other side over here. I'm going to work on these two sides now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to coat this adhesive kind of in the middle area along that edge right here, and I'm going to do the same thing on this other side, and I'm going to let it sit for about 30 seconds because that seems to be when it starts to get tacky. And we want that tackiness actually because that's what holds it in place. And hold. I'm going to get the spot next to it and then flip it over and check it. Make sure it's starting to look good. If you messed up, you still have time. And if you want to, you can definitely hammer. The staples down a little bit more because for some reason my staple gun isn't powerful enough. Keep going with the staples here. Next, we're going to work on the corners, and I don't think there's any particular order that you have to go. So same drill, get your spray adhesive, and wait for it to tack up a little bit. And then you're going to pull it down and around and tack it on. So once you have it tacked the way you like it, I'll run a couple staples there. And make sure that it looks good. Spray that with the adhesive. In a minute, we're going to go to these other corners here. All right, let's fold it over. In order for the black filler panel to fit on properly, it needs to actually come down and contact this plastic strengthening brace. So what you can do is just put a small slit like that and then take a flathead screwdriver, and the idea is once it's split, this pressure sensitive adhesive should stick. So it needs to break through. The lip that's on here is going to go all the way down and to the edge of that. once this is installed. So that's why I'm doing it. So you can see that some of these have a spot, right? Like this one right here, where that little cover is going to go down inside of it. So that's why it's important to make those relief cuts for that thing to fit on. Is get this thing reattached. All right. Now you shouldn't have to push that very hard. If you do, you're gonna have to go back and look and see where it's caught up. So now I'm gonna run all those screws in. And there you have it, folks. The new armrest console, synthetic leather. It looks pretty good. I gotta say, I'm happy with it, especially for the $10 price tag. It makes a little squeak when you open it, just a little contact back there. Not a huge deal, and it matches well. Take a closer look here. Stitching looks nice. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, be sure to drop a like, drop a comment, and if you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. Get ready, because the Supercharger series is coming, I promise. It's just a matter of resolving some of the supply chain issues, but it's coming. I'm excited. I'm sure you are too. Appreciate your support, and I'll see you on the next episode.
Whoa. You stayed right with them.